Your brain is keeping you poor. How to think like the rich. They told you the secret to wealth was hard work. That if you got good grades, followed the rules, and kept your head down, you'd be rewarded. But here you are, working harder than ever, and still, you're stuck. Living paycheck to paycheck, asking yourself, why does it feel like I'm running in place while others seem to soar effortlessly? What if I told you that your brain, yes, your very own mind, is quietly, invisibly, and efficiently keeping you poor? Not because it hates you, but because it was programmed to protect you from risk, not guide you toward wealth. This isn't about your job. It's not about the economy. It's not even about intelligence. It's about a mental script written long before you were old enough to question it. And the rich? They're not playing the same game. While you've been trained to sell your time, they've been taught to multiply it. While you avoid loss, they chase leverage. While you're taught to be realistic, they've learned to reprogram the rules of reality. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a wake-up call. Because once you see what's really been going on inside your own mind, you'll never look at money, work, or your future the same way again. Difference in mindset. There's something fascinating about the human brain. Think about it, a billionaire's brain is made of the same neurons, the same biology, the same raw potential as yours. But while some people build wealth that multiplies in their sleep, others trade hours for dollars in a loop that never ends. It's not IQ. It's not hustle. It's a mental program, a quiet, invisible belief system that's been running your life without your consent. While you've been taught to work hard and play it safe, they were taught to think in systems, not salaries. This is where the true line is drawn between the rich mindset and the poor mindset. The poor ask, how can I earn more per hour? The rich ask, how can I earn without showing up? One obsesses over budgeting every dollar. The other focuses on leverage, creating once, earning forever. While most people live by the rule of work more, earn more, the wealthy live by a different code, own more, control more, scale faster. It's not about working harder, it's about thinking in ways that break the limits of time. Take a local barber versus a digital entrepreneur. The barber earns only when cutting hair. But the entrepreneur? He builds an online course teaching cutting techniques and earns while on vacation. That's not luck. That's strategic thinking, and most importantly, mental reprogramming. It's recognizing that automatic behavior, like trading time for money, is the result of a deep conditioning. But where did this conditioning come from? Who put this script in your head in the first place? The origin of the script. Let me take you back. Way back. Long before smartphones, schools, or even the modern job. In the 1600s, a belief took root: wealth was holy, but only if it came through suffering. The Puritans taught that you must work hard, sacrifice, and never enjoy your money. To enjoy it would be sin. That's where the first layer of your financial conditioning began, not with logic, but with moral judgment dressed as truth. As time passed, these ideas evolved, but the underlying programming stayed. Authors like Horatio Alger wrote stories of poor boys who rose through honesty and patience, not innovation, not ownership, but obedience. The message? Be good. Wait your turn. Maybe then you'll be rewarded. Meanwhile, John D. Rockefeller, a billionaire with a vision, wasn't interested in thinkers. He was building workers. His words weren't fiction. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And so, the education system was reshaped, not to encourage dreams, but to build compliance. Sit down. Be quiet. Don't question. This wasn't a mistake. It was by design. When you're conditioned from childhood to fear risk, worship security, and obey authority, your ability to create wealth is quietly stolen. But here's the thing, they didn't just build the tracks. They made sure your subconscious would follow them blindly. And now that you see the track, what's happening inside your brain when you try to step off it? How your brain sabotages you. Your brain was built for survival, not success. That's why losing $100 feels twice as painful as gaining $100 feels rewarding. It's a glitch, loss aversion, and it keeps you frozen in fear. You don't invest, not because you're lazy or careless, but because your mind screams, "What if I lose?" That fear is ancient, wired into your nervous system. But in today's world, it becomes a silent thief, stealing your future one hesitation at a time. Then comes another trap, cognitive ease. You trust what feels familiar, even if it's keeping you broke. You'll skip an online course on building a business, but buy the latest $1,200 phone without blinking. Why? Because it feels normal. Safe. Everyone does it. But the real danger isn't the phone, it's the automatic behavior that says, "This is who I am." That's not a decision. That's a program running in the background, installed by someone else. And let's talk about stress. Real stress. The kind that creeps in when you check your bank account. Studies show that financial stress can lower your IQ by up to 13 points. Imagine trying to solve life's biggest problems with 13 fewer IQ points. You're not bad with money, your brain is in fight or flight. And when it feels like hope dies every time you try something new, your mind learns, stop trying. But what if you could turn this pain into fuel, and think like the wealthy instead? How the rich think. The poor ask, "Can I afford it?" The rich ask, "What's the return on investment?" It's not just a better question, it's a better mindset. See, wealthy people don't chase money for money's sake. They chase opportunity, leverage, and ownership. To them, money is just a byproduct of solving valuable problems at scale, not a paycheck earned by the hour. When most people see a $4 coffee, they think, waste of money. But the rich? They think, how do I create something that earns me $400 instead? That's the core of the $4 test, a shift from scarcity to abundance thinking. Instead of cutting expenses endlessly, they focus on building assets. While you're counting pennies, they're building platforms. Not because they're smarter, because they've installed a different program. Here's the difference in action: a worker sees time as something to sell. A wealthy thinker sees time as something to multiply. They build automated systems that continue working long after they've stopped. They don't dream of climbing the corporate ladder, they build the elevator. And you? You can do the same. But it starts by thinking in frameworks, not in fear. Let's look at the tools they use to install this new operating system. Reprogramming Tool 1, the $4 test. Most people spend their lives obsessing over small expenses, $4 coffees, streaming subscriptions, little indulgences, thinking that cutting them will lead to wealth. But here's the truth: wealth is not built by restriction, it's built by creation. The rich don't lose sleep over $4. They ask, how can I build something that earns me $400 while I sleep? That's the essence of thinking like an owner, not a worker. Let me give you a real example. Instead of cutting that coffee, what if you used that same $4 energy to brainstorm a small digital product, a mini ebook, a meal plan, a freelance service you can sell on Fiverr or Gumroad? One sale a day, $20 profit, that's $600 a month. That's the real ROI behind the $4 test. It forces your brain to shift from cost cutting to value building, and that's where transformation begins. The poor mindset sees every dollar spent as a threat. The rich mindset sees every dollar as a potential seed. A seed that, when planted right, grows into a tree that bears fruit for years. This isn't just about coffee. It's about how you see the world. The old program says, save more. The new program asks, how can I create more? And once this switch flips, you'll never see money the same way again. Reprogramming Tool 2, the 3-2-1 rule. You don't need $1 million idea. You need a simple one, with structure. That's where the 3-2-1 rule comes in. Start by identifying 3 problems people around you are desperate to solve. Don't overthink it: meal prep, home organization, better sleep, freelance headaches, real, everyday pain points. Entrepreneurs don't sell products. They solve pain. The deeper the pain, the higher the price people are willing to pay. Next, find 2 ways to monetize each of those problems. Let's say the problem is, people don't know how to manage their time. You could sell a digital planner for $10 per month, or offer a coaching session for $150 per hour. That's leverage. And here's the final step: build one system to automate delivery. Maybe it's an email sequence. Maybe it's a subscription page. Maybe it's a YouTube video with a product link in the description. Simplicity scales. This is how the wealthy operate. They don't just ask, "How can I make money?" They ask, "How can I make this run without me?" That's system thinking. And no, you don't need to be a tech wizard. You need a strategic mindset, not just skills. Think like Bezos in his garage: crude beginnings, but scalable systems. It's not about building an empire today. It's about starting smart, starting lean, and most importantly, starting fast. Reprogramming Tool 3, the 72-hour rule. Here's a cold truth: the longer you wait, the less likely you are to act. That's why the 72-hour rule exists. It's simple: if you don't take action on a new idea within 72 hours, your brain buries it. You overthink. You overplan. You talk yourself out of it. The rich don't wait 6 months to research the perfect moment. They test fast, they fail fast, and they course correct in real time. Let's say you have an idea for a product, service, or side hustle. The poor mindset says, "I need to build the perfect version." The rich mindset says, "I need version 1.0, imperfect but functional, live by Friday." You don't need a polished brand. You need a PayPal link in a DM. That's it. Action creates clarity. And clarity creates momentum. The perfect is just the ego's way of procrastinating under the illusion of planning. I've seen countless brilliant people wait themselves out of wealth. They had the spark, the talent, the opportunity. But they let the clock run out. And this is the kicker: they were never lacking skill, they were trapped by mental conditioning, programmed to believe that slow equals safe. But in the game of entrepreneurship, speed wins. So now that you know what to do, when should you start? Let me show you how to make this shift permanent. Action plan: Month 1, Month 3, Month 6. Month 1 is about reprogramming your mind, not just learning new things, but uninstalling the mental viruses that were planted in childhood. This means questioning everything: your relationship with time, money, and value. Start with daily rewiring. Read 10 pages a day of books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad, or the Almanac of Naval Ravikant. Replace scrolling with studying. Begin journaling the beliefs about money you inherited, and start flipping them on their head. By month 3, it's time to stop dreaming and start building your first automated income stream. It doesn't need to be perfect, it needs to exist. Sell a simple service. Launch a digital product. Build a one-page funnel using tools like Gumroad, Card, or ConvertKit. Create once, and let it run. Remember, you're not working harder, you're working smarter. You're no longer a worker. You're transitioning into a builder of systems. Come month 6, the game changes. You now have multiple sources of income, each one giving you more leverage. Maybe it's a content channel earning ad revenue. Maybe it's a course, a productized service, or a small local business you bought. Now, you're not trading time for money, you're multiplying it. The goal isn't just financial freedom. It's mental freedom. And once your mind expands to this level of thinking, it'll never shrink back to old limits again. Your brain might be keeping you poor. What if the very thoughts you believe to be common sense are actually chains? What if your struggle with money isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility? Your brain wasn't built to make you rich. It was built to keep you safe. But in this modern world, that same programming has become a cage. One that whispers, play it safe. Don't take risks. Be grateful for what you have. Sound familiar? Here's the truth: your life is a result of your operating system, and if that system is outdated, your results will be too. Most people will keep running the same loops: work hard, save, retire, without ever questioning the script. But now you've seen behind the curtain. You've seen how the wealthy think, act, and build. You've seen the difference between automation and exhaustion, between fear and strategy, between employee thinking and owner thinking. So now, the question becomes, what will you do with this awareness? You have two choices. 1. Ignore it. Pretend this conversation never happened and keep following the old blueprint. Or 2. Wake up. Install the new software. Rewrite your story. The tools are here. The plan is here. The only thing left is your decision. Now that you've seen the program running your mind, the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Will you keep playing the game the way they taught you, exchanging your time for scraps, shrinking your dreams to fit your bank account? Or will you finally reclaim your power, rewrite your mental script, and build the systems that set you free? Because the truth is, you don't need to be a genius. You don't need millions to get started. You need a decision. One that says, I'm done surviving. I'm ready to build. Your new life begins when you stop asking, can I afford this, and start asking, how can I build this? So I'll leave you with this. Are you thinking like a worker, or like an owner? Are you acting like someone who's waiting, or like someone who's ready? Drop your answer in the comments. Let me know, which mindset are you choosing to install today? And if this video spoke to you, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and join the growing movement of people breaking free from the old script, one belief, one system, one step at a time. Because this isn't just information, this is your new beginning.